taking on their longtime challenger scene rivals in Napkins in Disguise. This is going to be a rematch of the MCS and EPS Grand Finals, both of which Complexity did win, only dropping one game over the course of, I think it was 5, to go ahead and take out NID. I almost said NIP, but now coming back together, it's been an incredibly flawless performance from Complexity. Going up against the Napkins in Disguise roster, been seeing a few difficulties here and there. Well, while Dan figures out how to unmute his mic, I'm going to continue on with Picks and Bands. Welcome back.
I said something so good, but oh well. I said if anyone was going to take on the hype train of a 6-0 Complexity, it would be Napkins in Disguise. But you can go over Picks and Bands. I'm just going to grovel at how hard I just messed up. But it's okay. We're fine.
Dan capable of muting both his mic and his beard simultaneously. We'll go ahead and jump into Picks and Bands. Already you can see Lee Sin and Zyra banned away. I was talking to Mortis a while back when he was facing off against NID, and he said, hey, they're a team that you kind of win or lose in based on champion select. If you miss a few bans that are really, really key, you're going to have a bad time. First thing that catches my eye right away is that there's no Kassadin ban out there. So without that champion on the ban list, I can't expect Complexity to first pick anything else.
Yeah, Prolly's played Kassadin mid before, and it's been something that hasn't lost yet. But there it is. Gets hovered over, gets locked in instantly. And the Gragas, Lee Sin, and Zyra ban coming in from the side of Complexity. Going to take that Gragas away from Nubby and Lee Sin away from Scuba Chris, and then Zyra from Gleep Glarbu. But they freed open Zed, and Inox could play that one top. Don't think I've known Nubby Pooh Bear for his Zed play or mechanics in that mid lane, but it wouldn't surprise me if he could play it. And they could go for the Vi. Oh no, Vi's ban. Just kidding. They could go for a Jarvan jungle for Scuba Chris, which is what he's known for as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was really good play by NID, but it could come out to bite them just because giving away Kassadin to Prolly is never something you want to do. They do get Zed in return for it, and I mean that's good because hey, Kassadin and Zed kind of the kings of mid lane right now, but to very different effect. Zed, a great split pusher and likes to sort of win those 1v1s, but Kassadin, great at assassinating the back line and has a lot of mobility, not only because of Rift Walk, but also because probably going to be running teleport.
Yeah, and the side of Napkins in Disguise are going to lock in that Aatrox and Annie support, which is Gleep Glarbu is one of his better supports for that bot lane. Could be mid lane Annie. We still don't know. Nubby Pooh Bear could play that one and take us for a loop with that. But the side of Complexity are just going to go instantly into Renekton and Corki. So Renekton for Mega Zero up top, which is one of the champions usually gets targeted as a ban towards him. So that's going to be very interesting. And then Chuper going to play that Corki down there in the bot lane.
Now without the Zed, I'm kind of confused as to why Mortis locked in the Renekton for Mega Zero. I almost feel like grabbing away Zed and Kassadin, you could have seen sort of like deja vu from the Fnatic lineup that they were able to run in the course of their incredible performance at Worlds, getting both of those champions and then just completely shutting down the rest of the map. But with the Aatrox first pick, Inox is a great Aatrox player, taking nothing away from him, but he's going up against Mega Zero's Renekton, which over the course of Complexity's championship run through MCS was almost always banned out against him. We're going to see some incredible performances from top and mid, and with Corki making it all the way down to the 3rd champion chosen for Complexity, one of the strongest AD carries on their roster as well.
And it looks like Napkins is trying to hide their mid pick and see, I don't know, maybe they're not trying to hide. Maybe that Annie is actually going mid, but they are just trying to see what the last 2 picks are going to come in. That support and jungle are still up for grabs here from the side of Complexity. We have Graves Annie for the bot lane for side of Napkins in Disguise if it's an Annie support, but that burst potential at level 6 is huge from that Annie support in Graves. That buckshot into collateral damage, into Timbers, into Incinerate is just huge, but Complexity still, they need a good support. Could be Zyra, could be Nami. I'm not sure.
Probably couldn't be Zyra. I mean, that would be a little bit difficult.
Oh, it's banned. Just kidding.
But Another support that could come out is that Annie, which would work out really well. Oh, you were talking about for Prolly. I'm thinking we're going to see Fiddlesticks here. Fiddlesticks or Thresh would be my pick. Maybe a Lulu, but I'd go for Fiddlesticks or Thresh. MIA with the Thresh pick is probably going to be what we see. And going Thresh against Annie, you get scaling armor on Thresh when you go ahead and pick up souls. You don't get magic resist from that. And against the lane that will be dealing a lot of that just from Annie, the armor going to work out against Flappy Bearfish's Graves pretty well. The last pick, Zed. How often do you see that, EGAD?
Never. Never. Absolutely never. But that is going to be most likely top Zed jungle. No, actually, jungle Elise, top Aatrox, mid Zed for Nubby, and then support Annie. Unless they, I don't know what they're thinking right now. Maybe that could go anywhere at this point. But that Thresh pickup for MIA and then Nasus jungle for Lord of Mortis here coming in for the side of complexity.
Yeah, as already Dead said, yeah, it's Abe's Thresh is God. MIA is just capable of some of the most ridiculous Thresh plays we've seen over the course of not only NACL, but pretty much every tournament they've played in. So I gotta say, the lineup from Complexity, when you just look at the champions, I don't understand how this can lose. But NID are always famous, not only for their sort of wombo combo brushes of death, which they have a great team composition for, but also for some pretty incredible plays. And as one of the only team that has been able to consistently take games off of Complexity when really nobody else has, I don't know. It's gonna be one of our more even matchups against Complexity, who, keep in mind, coming into this game are undefeated at 6-0, whereas Napkins in Disguise have only dropped one game, but have only played 4 as well. So looking to bring things back and pick up their 5th win versus the undefeated Complexity and kind of dethrone the kings of our second conference.
Yeah, and the Orianna pick coming in instead of the Zed, so going with something else that can initiate really well, as well as have that shockwave to throw onto Aatrox if he wants to Dark Flight in or Repel from Elise. But we are going to go into a quick little commercial break before we load into this last and final game of tonight, with Complexity being 6-0 and Napkins in Disguise looking to dethrone them and get another win for themselves to make being at 4-1. They want to get that 5th win. But before that, check out the sponsor below, guys. It's Loot Crate. They have a monthly little deal. It's $13.37 a month to pick up a nice crate that they send you with some cool nerd little gadgets and knickknacks and treats. And I don't know what else is in there, but you guys can find out below by clicking the link. But till then, we'll be right back. So enjoy the music and stay tuned.
Side by the Beardless Wonder, Dan Egad Caruso, and together we'll be bringing you into our last game of the evening. Complexity Gaming in the blue side, going up against Napkins in Disguise, and in a rematch, like I mentioned, of almost every single Challenger Tier tournament that both of these teams have been involved in. XDG Scuba Chris will be going up against Lord of Mortis in a little bit of a battle of the junglers that, thanks to those ranged auto attacks, Scuba Chris comes out ahead.
Yep, and this is probably one of the best games of the night to bring ending it on after Complexity did come back from that GGLA game 2 nights ago. I'm pretty sure Complexity is feeling on top of their game and they can conquer the world and do anything. But we will see as now Napkins Disguise look to try to dethrone them from their nice little 6-0 hype train. Glebglabber has a stun ready. He went back to base. They dropped 2 deep wards by that red side, and we'll have vision of that and see if a lot of Mortis wants to start from that. But Nasus, not known for his red starts, but we'll be hanging out towards that blue side and looking to start there. Mega Zero is covering him, and they think that they got invaded on the red side, so they're letting Glebglabber face check this with his stun ready. But either way, it's going to be a very passive start from both sides.
So for the meantime, I'm not actually expecting to see anything from, as far as invades. You can go straight for the cross-map invade, and with the early ward coverage from NID, that's definitely a possibility. But with Prolly actually getting scouted out for the rotation, this is really where those wards pay out, because NID get a chance to see exactly what the lane matchups are going to be. And while Prolly was thinking about moving down towards the bottom for a lane swap, we'll just go ahead make it back into his middle lane for pretty standard lane matchups there, but nowhere else across the map, as it's actually going to be Inox kind of pulling a little bit of a jungle role. He's going to take down the wolves, share the experience from the blue buff, and then come into lane. The only problem is that Complexity have actually completely countered this out, because instead of doing a slow push, they're already getting damage on the turret.
Yeah, which is what you need to do in a 2v1 situation where you know that you're going against that one person. Just shove him out, denied him a whole wave already, even before the second wave could even reach that lane. So he's going to be behind an XP for a little while, even after doing the wolves and helping with blue. He didn't even get to help with blue, as he did have to go back to lane and stop them from doing that much damage there and try to keep them away from it. While up top, it looks like Flappy Bearfish and Glebe were kind of freezing that lane and letting it build up. So Mega Zero is not going to miss out on anything here and is actually going to be able to catch him in CS fairly easily.
And he's actually going to be able to see us almost perfectly under turret, so an impressive job there as NOCLS comes back to his own lane, even in CS, but keep in mind most of those were jungle creeps, so it's going to be a little bit different there. Now, Loud of Mortis pushed out of his own jungle by a very strong Scuba Chris, who will go ahead and, oh, Loud of Mortis actually smites the big golem away, so that's a little bit of insult to injury, but still dominant performance as far as jungle is concerned for Scuba Chris, already with a little bit of an early advantage there.
Yeah, and now with the harass coming in from Glebe Glarbrew and from Flappy Bearfish's auto attacks, the incinerate, the stun, as well as the buckshot damage, is going to force Mega Zero to be a little bit more safe, as well as pop his health potion now, which is going to be gone. Nubby Pooh Bear applying a lot of pressure to Prolly, but Scuba Chris just walks right on behind the turret, hits the cocoon through the minions, going to repel away from that damage from the turret, and just gets right on out of there without burning anything significant.
Now, more focused on actually damaging out Mega Zero at the turret. There's actually the flash stun on the Mega. You're going to see Flappy Bearfish go for the kill underneath the turret. Flash is actually in. There's the barrier. The last turret auto attack. It's going to be first blood. Double summoners blown there from Flappy. Trades away a 100 gold advantage. Picking up first blood, but giving a kill to Mega Zero.
Yeah, in a 2v1 lane, getting a kill is going to help him so much. But first blood's still going to Flappy. Going to net him that, I think, Vampiric Scepter for his lane. Yep. And in the bot lane, we do have Scuba Chris helping out there. He gets the cocoon. They flays the Dark Flight. Mega Zero's going to keep that one away, but the repel coming in through the exhaust. Can he pick up the kill? He needs one more for Venomous Bite. It does come out. MIA is going to be their next target. Now, Red Buff did run out. The cocoon connects, though. Nero tucks to Venomous Bite once again. MIA could not land the death sentence in time, but still did the best that he could to keep his 80 carry safe. But a kill going on to Scuba Chris from the jungle.
And a nice job. Getting kills in 1v2 lanes always signals that something is not necessarily going your way. For NID, a lot of things are. 18 CS on NOCLS, as well as getting that assist. And with Scuba Chris actually picking up that kill in the jungle, it's just going to set him that much further ahead of Loud of Mortis, who instead of working on a Spirit Stone, picks up a Crystalline Flask instead.
Oh, there's a Death Sentence going to pull NOCLS towards the turret. The aggro does not go onto him, though. He's going to throw out that slow and just Dark Flight about an inch, and then look to go back to base now and possibly pick up a Vampiric Scepter here as well for himself. He's got 960 gold and maybe some potions with that. But up top, Mega Zero going to eat some poke from Flappy Bearfish. He's got boots, Adorns, a Ruby Crystal, and now some potions to sustain back up. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to rotate just yet.
It actually looks like with NOCLS going double Doran's items and Mega Zero just looking for Ruby Crystal, interesting to see what that's going to go into. If he wants to build it into like a Phage for Trinity, I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing out ideas. The extra health is going to be pretty good. Probably will be a Spirit Visage, but he's going to need a lot more than that. As Scuba Chris coming behind the turret, pushing Mega Zero off of it. He's going to try to fight a 1v1. Scuba Chris actually going to lose that pretty heavily with no buffs to give him a little bit more of an advantage. Flappy and Glebe Glarbrew will continue the zone through the turret. Mega looking to get back in there onto that. Could probably trade away one kill, but is just going to lose the first turret of the game. His complexity take a 6.5 minute turret.
Oh my god, the Death Sentence hit from downtown. He's going to go back in. The Flay doesn't come out. The turret damage on the Lot of Morse wasn't enough. The Bloodwell passive is going to get popped. The Flash is down. Can he get out is the question. He goes into Lot of Morse, picks up one. In the 1v3, he pops Massacre, but it's not enough. And he will go 1 for 1, but they trade turrets, so it's going to go in favor of Napkins in Disguise in a really good play, as now the 3-man roam squad coming in from top looking to push mid.
And now this is sort of a page out of Complexity's book. It's the way that you snowball taking an early turret is you walk from one lane to the next lane, and usually you'll go for a dragon instead of a turret, but with only Prolly left there to defend, Kassadin, not quite the champion known for the best wave clear in the game. Mega Zero coming in there will take a lot of damage. Command Shockwave actually go out. The damage coming down from the Venomous Bite as well, taking it out. Prolly forced completely off of that turret. Dive successful. Mega Zero taken out.
And now the Flash is down for Prolly as well. We're going to see Flappy and Nubby most likely go back to base and heal back up and spend their money with Glebe Glarbrew. NOCLS is down bot free farming right now with a nice wave building up there. And Scuba Chris will look to try to hold this turret, but Lot of Mortis, I think, will shove it down with that Spirit Fire, as well as farm up his Siphoning Strike, which is currently at, how many stacks we got here? Well, they rotate towards Dragon, it's going to be 33, it looks like, so not farming out the best right now.
With that level 6, Colada Mortis is going to walk straight on onto Dragon. The percentage max HP damage from Fury of the Sands makes that something that really doesn't require all that much assistance, but with the rest of the complexity around there, pretty uncontested objective in that regard. Complexity will take the Dragon that gets them closer to even in gold, but we'll also look for a blue buff steal. No pressure on the bottom half of the map at all. Pretty much the same idea coming out from Scuba Chris as well, looking to take away Complexity's blue.
Yeah. And Inox is there to respond. He's going to lay in a lot of damage. Pop the Massacres. Level 7 interrupts the Slice and Dice after using that range for his auto attacks, but could not get it in time. Scuba Chris will steal this blue buff away, so probably will not be seeing that one anytime soon. And will be a little reliant on that Tier and Doran's Ring and Flask to help him sustain that lane. While now we have Flappy Bearfish forced to hold on to this one. He's going to throw out the auto attacks. Gets withered, and he's just ignoring Chuper and Lot of Mortis. Can't land any auto attacks with that wither still being applied. And now Chuper and Lot of Mortis going to rotate towards mid and make it a 4-man push against Snubby Pooh Bear, most likely, as they're actually going to clear Wolves first.
What I'm looking forward to is seeing Prolly, who is initially kind of behind in lane, even in CS, but has been forced to flash away from his own turret. If he's just going to go for the straight up Tear of the Goddess into Archangel Staff, or if he's still going to delay his build even further and grab something along the lines of a Catalyst the Protector into Rod of Ages. That's kind of the standard build, but with the Doran's Ring and Flask in his inventory, that would be extremely delayed. So probably we'll see him actually just skip that itemization. He's going to get a little bit of free farm as lanes start to sort of shift that direction. Flappy looks to be the man from NID to stop him. Question is, can probably actually continue to stay down here, because Flappy's pretty strong in his own right.
A lot of Mortis going to clear up the wave there, gets hit by Cocoon. There's the distance, it's a shockwave. Gleek Larva flashing in with the Timbers and picks up the kill. As a teleport now going to get canceled, as Prolly does not want to go in 3v1. That was a beautiful chain of CC coming in from Napkins, but Prolly going in onto Flappy now. Gets the Rift Walk, forcing the flash out. Can he collapse on this one? There is a spider coming out of the water spout, being the river, and will scare Prolly away from chasing down a potential kill on Flappy.
Flash forced out though, so a win in that regard. Probably Flash wasn't up, or else he might have just sort of reactionarily gone after that. But NID keep catching Complexity at their turrets. They killed Mega Zero earlier on. That time they took out Lotta Mortis. And the Mega Mortis combo has been something that's been so huge for Complexity in every single one of their games. And as sort of that Nasus Renekton Brotherhood, you expect them to be those big tanks who are kind of incapable of falling to stuff like that, but just aren't quite at that level just yet for Complexity.
And Lot of Mortis still holding on to this mid lane, still denying the push. Chuper has the Phage, he's building towards the Trinity Force first. Inox being spotted out by the ward, though, has probably collapsing. Mega Zero going to keep him out of there, while Inox is still trying to build towards that Blade of the Rune King. He's going to get Cutlass as his next buy, and probably going to clean up some Wolves. We do have Napkins in disguise, though, in a really good position here. They have a lot of pressure on these lanes. They're farming up fairly well. Death Sentence not going to connect. The Flay comes out as well, but MIA. Now, with the team grouping up, gonna look to push down this mid lane, forcing the repel out of Scuba Chris. He does go back into the minion, gets silenced, gets slowed as well by that Void, and now a stun from onto Chuper forces him to eat 3 turret shots.
Yeah, the pushes from Complexity, or the pushes from NID, they haven't actually gotten all that much damage down onto the mid turret, took it below half. But for Complexity, you can see them take a much more sort of, hey, we're going to build up the wave a little bit. We're going to look to put more pressure on your turrets, not necessarily look to dive and pick up champion kills. So a much more passive push from them. And that's something that works out so well for Complexity over most of their games. Even if they take a little bit of a hit early on, they always just stay relevant in their champions, in their lanes, and pull it out to late game where, especially in their last game that we saw against... trying to remember, was it GG? Yeah, it was GGLA. You got to take it late, and I guess Complexity late game, there's almost nobody that can beat them in that category.
Yeah, and they come back from any deficit. 2-level advantage, though, for Inox over Mega Zero at this point. Looking strong. He hasn't gone back to base shop just yet. Keeps on farming back up. Ruby Sightstone now completed for Gleam Blarbu, while MIA Sightstone is a little bit Mia right now. Are going to wait to see for him to build that one up. Inox keeps on pushing, keeps on applying the pressure. We do have Scuba Chris now rotating around and just going to keep control of this blue buff side. There is that pink ward there that's spotting them out, though. As they rotate towards mid, there's a flash play that connects to the Gleek Glarbu. Flappy Bearfish was in the air. The Timber comes out in response, though. It's going to not chase them down just yet, but there's a flash dark flight coming with the Master, getting exhausted instantly. MIA getting taken out by NX through that exhaust. The Cocoon not going to connect, as now they push in to this tier 1 mid turret.
Perfect roam from NOCLS just showed up as Complexity were looking to disengage off of a failed turret dive. Perfect Tibbers there. Glebe Glarbu almost single-handedly turning that around. Command Shockwave lands on a lot of mortars, flashes out, but it's going to be the Ignite coming down from NOCLS. Nubby Pooh Bear will finally find the last kill there. Probably comes in for a kill on a Nubby, and NOCLS very low gets his passive popped here. This could be the turning point for Complexity. Will try to find the kill, and NOCLS gets a little bit of extra damage down. Chris does not want to go in there. Throws down the repel, has nowhere to go. Probably and Shooper both there looking to take it out, but Glebe zoning them away allows the rest of NID to disengage, just a little bit overextended. Still trade out a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and a good follow-up by Complexity, net themselves 2 kills in exchange for MIA's death, unfortunately. But now Dragon is going to be coming up in 15 seconds. Scuba Chris is getting fairly low. He's going for that blue buff. Probably is on the other side of the wall, though, and is looking to try to snipe out Flappy here with the help of Shooper. And he is being very sneaky, being an assassin that Cassidy can be, but will just choose to back out. And Scuba Chris didn't even finish blue buff there, just backing out to base to heal back up, as Dragon is now live, and Flappy getting bursted out here by that damage. The silence comes out, and the flash auto attack from Trooper picking up that kill. And Lauda Mortis going to solo Dragon for Complexity with MIA.
And if it hadn't been Trooper picking that up, probably would have been able to rip walk in for the additional damage as well. So just a little bit of an overextension by Flappy Bearfish, and off the back of that, Lauda Mortis, no pressure on Dragon once again, as Complexity just kind of free and clear to take down these global objectives. Not a whole lot of effort from NID to stop them from doing that. And I feel like Complexity games, they always start out really rough to watch in the early phase. Almost always Complexity will drop down a little bit just because they're playing so safely to avoid getting snowballed, to avoid kind of sort of falling to any early game strategies that their opponents have. So they'll play so safely that they get behind a little bit, and then they just, because they played safely, they stay relevant, like I mentioned, and they picked up these global objectives to keep themselves in the game as far as gold is concerned. Now with actually a gold lead, things are starting to pick up for them, and once the Complexity snowball starts rolling, there's not a lot that stops it.
No, nothing at all can stop the Complexity train. And now Mega Zero hits level 10. Enoch still ahead by that regard. He's going to get a huge wave of farm while probably applying some Rasta Nubby with that blue buff. They throw out the Death Sentence. MIA not going to connect that one, but Flappy was there to respond. If anything, Trooper's farming in the bot lane by himself, trying to catch some CS, as Flappy is at a nice little lead there. But we do have the roam coming in from Mega. Oh, that poke, though, from Cassidy on the Flappy, taking away about 500 HP.
Complexity looking to push in onto the middle turret. A little bit of poke finds its way onto Scuba Chris. With the rest of Complexity rejoining up in the middle lane, 5 men strong. And Ox will come down here. Probably goes in once again. There's the flash, the stun, the dart. Wow. That as well. Flappy flows Probably apart. Mega Zero forced the disengage. He is very low in the back of that fight, but so are Nubby, Glebe, and Flappy down below 300 HP. That sense lands onto a Nox. Lattimore trying to come in there, but no damage to follow that up as Shooper looking to go around behind the turret. Shooper, please.
Alright, he's not doing anything crazy just yet. They don't have any vision on all the low members of Napkins in Disguise. They traded 1 for none and all got dangerously low. Inox is backing, everybody's backing, and they will be able to heal back up off that one. Red buff, though, is up. Are they going to look to steal this one? Is the question. MIA will ward it. They will know it's up. They throw the Lantern, and he's turning around. He's going to ask Trooper to go help him, but we do have Scuba Chris waiting in the wings, as well as a fully healed up Napkins in Disguise coming down. The Bash Brothers, though, are going to look to take down this turret. Baltimore is going to eat some turret shots to the face, just lay into it with the Siphoning Strike, and they will get the tier 1 up top, while Red buff did successfully get stolen away from Napkins by Complexity.
And Nasus is out of the picture now. Lattimore took a little bit too much damage there from the turret, and so Complexity having to back off here at both Lattimore and Trooper, forced to go back to base. And Ox almost catching on to Loud. Doesn't check that brush. And for now, NID, they're going to look to push out mid lane to take the turret with not a lot to stop them from Complexity. I feel like Complexity will be able to make it back before any more is taken down. But with probably continuing that split push, even though he had a little bit of a rough early game, we see him up with a 5 CS advantage, still staying relevant, goes in on to Scuba Chris. Wow. Has enough damage to follow this up if Scuba stays in lane. Will wisely back on off, and immediately you can see NID rotating to help.
Yep, and that is the nice mentality that they have. But NOCLS, though, taking quite a bit of damage from Mega Zero with that Ravenous Hydra. He's got the Kindle Gem building towards the Spirit Visage as his secondary item here. Thresh is coming up, but he does Dark Flight out. NOCLS will be safe from that. And the turret advantage did go over to Complexity, as well as the gold advantage now by about 1.1k. We will see what they do to respond to answer to Probably as the Rift walks back in onto Nubby. A lot of damage comes through. A nice cocoon as well as repelled. There's a shockwave coming in. It puts him in a position to get over the wall, but can he do it? No, he cannot. The red buff as well as the Spiderlings and Ignite from Nubby come in. Flash hook coming in, but does not connect as Flappy does flash away from it. Glee Globber with the stun ready. Can he do anything with this? As Lord Mortis is beating into the turret with the help of Trooper, but there is Napkins collapsing on this one. Can they catch anybody else out with a cocoon? Does not look like they're going to be able to, as NOCLS just keeps on pushing against Mega Zero.
Yeah, perfect cocoon from Scuba Chris, able to just set up that kill and probably take out the split pusher, and without that risk, you see NID much more comfortable as just grouping back up into the middle lane. They have a very sizable push down bottom. I can almost promise you that's exactly where Probably is headed.
Yeah, he has the teleport available to him, so he will fulfill that split pushing role of the team with that Kassadin helping them out. But Napkins in Disguise still have a lot of good AoE synergy. They have the ultimates that they need to turn fights if they need be. But yeah, NOCLS is roaming back down, gets spotted out by Ward. The pings come out. Oracle's Elixir picked up for Glee Glarbu, and he will now try to take control of the map as MIA has been doing for quite a while with that Oracles of his own. Probably gonna farm up bot, and Mega Zero gonna farm up top. They're just putting this rotation in a 1-3-1, so just being content with that and letting Kassadin and Mega Zero being that Renekton farm up.
And he's going to need to get that farm up. He's 30 CS down against NOCLS, and NOCLS with that Ravenous Hydra, looking for a little bit of extra magic resistance as well. Once again, the Ravenous Hydra battles top lane. We could see a little bit of a repeat of last game. Complexity looking to push up the middle lane, 5 men strong. NID need to go ahead and group up themselves a little bit to defend this turret. It has taken about a third of its health down, but as Napkins in Disguise look to take down this blue buff, you can see the same thing going through Complexity's mind.
And right now, we do have Probably getting initiated on here. A lot of damage coming in onto him. The Renekton ultimate is popped. Is the NACLS ultimate going to come in? There it is. The Bash Briller combination going in. The damage per second is huge as Lord Mortis is going to zone away Scuba Chris. The Death Sentence over the wall does not connect. Nobody going to get caught out too hard just now, but they are forced to disengage. The big ultimates are down from the side of Complexity, though. That Dominus and the Fury of the Sands could be a turning factor. They do steal away the blue buff. Probably picks it up. And a very close engage. The tension is mounting, and it's going to be whoever can catch out who, and who can synergize the best with their ultimates. As MIA gets the Death Sentence of the Glebe, but cannot follow it up. And they are fighting over this Dragon side. It is live, and we are looking to see who can catch anything out. Lantern over the wall. And probably going in and taking the Lantern back out for this Swag Null Sphere.
And that is a combination that is Mega Zero's contribution to the Complexity roster. The ability of Kassadin to Rift Walk in, get so much damage down, and then not have to wait for the cooldown to Rift Walk out, just take the Thresh Lantern back, really allows him to deal the damage in much riskier situations than you normally see. And off the back of that, even without Loud Mortis's and Mega Zero's ultimate, Complexity secure their 3rd consecutive Dragon of the game. NID not really going for those global objectives, and now with Probably going in once again, able to take the Thresh Lantern back out, and you're going to see Complexity use that combo over and over again to continue to put the pressure on NID.
And that time he actually ate the stun from Annie, and if he would have eaten that stun underneath the turret, they would have collapsed and destroyed him, but taking the Lantern out and being safe with that. Now we do have Napkins looking to push down this mid lane and pressure whatever they can. The tier 1 of the bot lane still available, and Probably is going to go clear out a huge wave that built up down there. There are pings going into the red side. They see that Trooper is not doing red. They don't have any wards over there. But in a nice little conga line fashion, Napkins are going to walk down mid and Probably is going to back up just a little bit. They see that there's some danger. There's a ward over the wall. And this turret is going to be their target and most likely will go down unless Probably can hold this one off as his teammates are a little bit behind. But Trooper comes in, throws some rockets. The turret is their focus. There's a 3-man shockwave coming in. There's a knockup with 2 Massacre. Dark Flight coming in. Flappy Bearfish gets the turret, but Annie claims Corky's life. As now Mega Zero gets chunked down by an Ignite, but Probably coming in the side does look to help Lord Mortis pick up a kill with that ultimate. The Fear of the Sand still active. NOCLS has Bloodwell, but Probably sniping out Nubby Pooh Bear there. NOCLS gonna come back with not too much HP. The Cocoon comes in. The Dark Flight picks up the kill.
Chris!
NOCLS going in with that one. Scuba Chris with the repel as well. Lotta Mortis gets the red buff. The Death Sentence doesn't connect. NOCLS is getting low. Scuba Chris is low. One Wither will let him catch up. Can he get in range for that Wither is the question. He's popping the flash. He's got tier 2 boots. He gets the Wither on Scuba Chris. The slow comes out from NOCLS. He flashes the Cocoon. Goes in with the Spirit Fire. Siphoning Strike is not enough to pick it up. The red buff being applied. Dark Flight doesn't get played this time. He heals back up. He flashes away. Can they get the kill on Lotta Mortis? The repel comes out, but the red buff picks it up. The Death Sentence almost connecting on NOCLS. Lotta Mortis gonna look for it again. Gets the Spirit Fire, but NOCLS runs out, and in a close fight, it was globally 4 for 3 in favor of Complexity.
And that just goes to show that not only are the team fights close, gold, kills, turrets, everything just bang on even between these two teams. And with NOCLS starting to hit that level on Aatrox, where not only can Mega Zero not really get onto him and be a consistent threat, but he's gonna have to be this big front line, because we talked about the Mega Mortis combo early on. The double tank line mean that after the initial huge engage, there was a command shockwave into Dark Flight, perfectly set up wombo combo by NID, which is difficult to do, so credit to them for that. Their burst was down, and that's when Complexity's lineup shines. The consistent, persistent damage over the course of a team fight just really outshone NID there and allowed them to turn it around. A little bit of an, oh, leave Glarbu, please. The teleport from Prolly, blowing him up, and about as free as it comes. Prolly picks up his 3rd kill of the game.
You know, let's take a quick look at Lotta Mortis real quick. How many stacks does he have? He has currently 123, so not the most stacks for a jungle Nasus, but still doing a ton of damage with that Siphoning Strike, as it wasn't even his priority to level it, but he did level that Spirit Fire and Wither as his main priorities for ganking and clearing the jungle as fast as possible. We do see, though, as Lotta Mortis and Mega make their way down bot to push the tier 2 down there, Trooper going to follow up, and I think Napkins are going to respond with potentially a 3-man group of their own. But it's going to fall.
Complexity just outmaneuvering NID right now. They're able to go top, middle, and, well, in that case, bottom, and take down their 4th turret of the game, and just catching NID out of position. Now, waiting in the jungle, they have vision control as well. Complexity able to just pretty much walk between the lanes as they please. All outer turrets down, with the exception, or all outer turrets down. One inner down now for Complexity. Mega looking to get in, gets the jump onto a Nox, forcing the backwards damage there onto Flappy Beverage. Super coming in from the side, chunks out Flappy. Flappy down to 200 HP. Now Super going over the wall, somewhat difficult positioning. Knows he's gonna have a Thresh Lantern. Should the damage be there? Now it's Cleave Glarbu going in, and Nox now going to be the next to fall. Double kill from Super, actually flashing or Valkyring in over the wall, away from his team, makes it work, picks up a double kill. Shut down there from a Nubby Pooh Bear. Will pick himself up a kill on Lotta Mortis, but Complexity, we're going to have to ask Glebe at the end of that fight if he can confirm whether or not there were in fact bows dropped upon him, but good night, the engage from Complexity. It's just absolutely massive.
That was a phenomenal engage from them, and picking up 2 kills with that. They do trade a lot of mortars, so we one too many tower shots, but they do clear up the mid tier 2. Now they're looking to pick up the mid tier 3 if they want to rotate in a nice little orderly fashion. Sunfire Cape finish for Mega. There is a last whisper for Chuper, and MIA now having that Ruby Sights down and the Oracle still ticking away. Gonna take control of most likely Baron Pit, and then maybe rotate towards that red and clear out the top tier 2.
The top tier 2 is the last outer turret left for Complexity, is that nice team fight did result in them taking their 5th turret of the game. And after a trip back from base, you can see that even without the Rod of Ages that you'd expect to see from a standard Kassadin build, probably is just as deadly. Picking up a Seraph's Embrace, or completing that, stacking it up, and a Rabadon's Death Cap. So no Zanya's Hourglass here, and that's really a reaction to having the safety of that Rift Walk in, Lantern out combo that's worked out so well for Complexity.
Can they catch Flappy? Oh my god, he hit it before he went back. Flappy is not going to be able to finish that cannonball and will be just sentenced to death.
Flappy, please.
Alright, well, that is a dead bearfish, and now Baron is going to be started up here from the side of Complexity.
You know, I always wondered what a dead bearfish looked like. You know, I didn't have a really clear picture in my mind, but Flappy Bearfish helping me out just a little bit. Now I can know exactly what that looks like. And similar to the Free Dragons or Free Barons rather, in game number 3 of the night, as Complexity take that one down. It's Scuba Chris's turn to get cut off. Throws down the Cocoon, but with a Seraph's Embrace on. No fear from Prolly. We'll go in there, and it's Rift Walk combined with the Force Pulse, and Null Spirit taking it out. Prolly on a killing spree, starting to just be that Kassadin that everybody knows and fears. Meanwhile, NID do push down the second tier mid turret, look to rotate bottom lane, but without any minions there. Not even stopping to clear away the... Okay, not even stopping to clear away the red buff. Lattimore is gonna get a wither on a Nubby Pooh Bear. NID looking to turn this one around. They could have initiated. They could have just killed
Mega!
off.
From the back, the shockwave hits 2. There's a nice knock-up coming in from the Dark Flight, but Bleed Glaru's dead. The collateral damage isn't enough, but Inox picks up at least 1 from Lot. Hits the wall from the box. Does Dark Flight back out? Can they do anything else from this, though? But Inox will fall down. Dragon's going to go over to Complexity, and that is going to be another fight in favor of Complexity with a 3-for-1.
And oh my goodness, Complexity's team fighting is just ridiculous. Mega Zero, in exactly the position he needed to be in, crushed the back line and allowed the rest of the carries to just clean up the back of that fight. It was just huge positioning. Gotta shout out Mega Zero for just coming in from behind, turning that around. Gonna talk about a couple of other things. While Quirky able to have a pretty big presence in that fight, you'll notice he's doing it without the traditional Sorcerer's Shoes. We usually will see going for Mercury Treads this time around. Won't be able to stop Inox from knocking him up, but does reduce the Cocoon CC duration as well as Anti-Burst CCing out there to open up the fight. So it's super just considering that as long as he isn't burst down by or caught out by the initial CC, he's going to be able to escape from that Valkyrie away as long as nothing stops that. He's sitting pretty at 6-2-5 against Flappy Bearfish's 2-4-5 Graves, who has home guarded boots there. Not really looking for a Last Whisper anytime soon.
I picked up the pickaxe, and we'll be trying to pick it up as fast as possible, obviously. But Cleveland now with the Oracle's going to clear out some wards, put some defensive wards on the red side. There is a lot of pink wards coming in from from Complexity, as we are going to look to see what Mega Zero does up top. He's pushing. Flappy Bearfish comes in. And I don't know what's going on right now. Gleeflabber looking to get a stun. Can't get it, gets silenced, gets bursted, and Chuper gonna try to pick up that kill. Can he riff walk in? He does. The Tibbers comes out, but not in time. Command Protect keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but the Siphon, he strikes to the face, picks up the kill. There's a 3-man knockup coming in. There's a Shockwave and a lot of mortars. He gets taken out. And now Mega Zero zoning off the other members, and Cassidy picks up the kill on Aatrox, while Mega Zero zones away Flappy and Nubby.
All right, well, we're going to be kind of radio casting this for a second. Probably just crushing through the end of that team fight. Not exactly sure what else to happen, but while we go ahead and get back in there, it's just probably going crazy. A double kill as he finishes off the entire lineup. NID do fall. Complexity back and off. Look to take down their first baster of the game. I'll have to wait for minions to come up for that, but hopefully we should be able to get back in here. So I apologize for a little bit of a DC, but hopefully our radio casting was good enough. Probably below half HP and mana, still waiting in the wings just to go ahead and drop that burst damage. Leave Glarbu about as tanky as he can come. Has that Ruby Sidestone completed. Stun is up, looking for an engage, but nobody there to follow up. Complexity trying to take down the first inhib of the game, but will be forced to back off by NID.
Yep, and we get the first inhibitor turret. They did about half the damage of half the life of the inhibitor's health, so taking that one really low, but not securing it just yet. Cleveland with the Oracles though, going to clear out some more wards. Baron has almost fallen off of a set of Complexity. Actually, let me see how much more time I have left on them. It is actually going to fall off in the next few seconds, so that is going to be down. While we do have Napkins in Disguise still looking to hold on to this base, they have a 10,000 gold deficit. Lock of the Iron Slayer finished for Elise. Void Staff is done for that Cassidy, so within range of one-shot potential on potentially the 80 carry or Clean Clarbu.
One-shot potential, something that is often attributed to Cassidy, even as a Brilliance Elixir after a Void Staff. 566 ability power. Probably just, oh my goodness, chunking out Scuba Chris, who will be able to get out to minions using that repel. Flash in from Brawley, forces the flash out. Complexity this time around will secure their first inhibitor of the game. Look to push things on. I don't even think they need to back off for a different lane, but without wanting to throw this, they have worked 32 minutes now for that inhibitor and are not going to give it away quite so easily. Top lane is pushing in, so Complexity making their way back up there. Look to take down their last outer turret of the game.
Yeah, and then we'll secure this top tier 2. There's nothing Napkins in Disguise can do right now, so they will look to just hold this off in the base as much as possible. Baron's gone, so that extra damage buff slash AP buff is not going to be too much of a threat, but probably with that combo, that Lancer and the Null, the Null Sphere just chunking away at Nubby, while Lot of Mortis comes in, Destinus connects, he's going to go in with it, he's not, but a 500 damage crit to the face, as well as the big one, that Rocket Lane into him. Flappy trying to do whatever he can, just surfing on over to the other side of that tower. There are Supermarines building up in this mid lane though, as that combo just ceases to amaze me every time. It's just go in, sphere, take it right on out, and then rinse and repeat.
And Complexity can kind of sit here and do this for as long as they want. There's a blue buff for a lot of CDR, means a lot of missiles in Trooper's arsenals, and really going kind of super Trooper this game. 7-2, very aggressive. Now it's probably getting in on a Flappy Bearfish, takes the Dark Flight, could actually go down there, does not have the Zani's Hourglass, but the Seraph's Embrace, saving his life, able to flash and TP, or not TP, but Rift Walk out of that engagement. There's the Tibbers engaged top lane. Meanwhile, Glebe Larbo's going to drop that down. Tibbers locked for this world as double ults. Their Fury of the Sands and Dominus go down.
Wow.
Command Shockwave, take out Lana Mortis. Trooper in the back. Does take a lot of damage, but without a lot to come back, it's a trade off that. Probably comes back with a teleport. Home Guard will take out Scuba Chris. Probably goes godlike, finishes off Glebe Larbu on the fountain, and with a 10, 3, and 9 performance. That's why you banned Cassidy.
He had time to go back to base, teleport back in with Home Guard, snipe off 3 kills, or help with 3 kills. Also in that fight, MIA hit a Death Sentence on Inox, use that to get into the base, walk around, put the box on top of 4 members of Napkins, and then just continue to land the auto attacks and CC as much as possible. And this Cassidon is super snowballed, and with that Giant Spell, is he going to pick up a Rylai's as his 4th big item here? And it looks like, with the triple kill, he hasn't bought anything just yet. It's going to be double Giant Spell.
A second.
Huh.
That's what you do when you're ahead on Cassidon. He just knows that as long as he just plain doesn't die, a lot of Cassidons would have opted for things like Zonya's Hourglass or Guardian Angel. Probably builds double Giant Belts. I've seen Lada Mortis, when he's super ahead in the jungle, build double Spirits of the Ancient Golem, because he has 2 hands, so he needs a glove for each one of them. But apparently, probably needs more belts, and in the vein of many very powerful, very strong anime champions, the more belts you have, apparently the stronger you are. So let's see how that pays off for probably in the next fight. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, 10, 3, and 9, things are still working out.
Yep, 3rd Baron of the game, gonna go over to Complexity again, and we will see them look to push down this bot lane, most likely, as the last turret of the game for the inhibitors is down there, as well as the last inhibitor of the game not being scratched just yet, as they all look to rotate down. Mega Zero gonna split push this mid lane, Lot of Mortis and everybody else gonna clear out the rest of the jungle and look to try to close this one out. Inox did pick up a last Whisper though, so he's got a little bit of damage and armor penetration there, but I don't know how he's gonna tear through the team if he just gets one-shot by this Cassidon.
Now I'm questioning the aggressive itemization choice rather than like maybe a Banshee's Veil if he feels like it's magic damage, but I don't know. He's looking to get the blow-up effect, and there is probably jumping in there, will get taken out no matter how many belts he has, cannot continue to stay alive. Flappy Bearfish kiting away from Mega Zero's reacting the flash in there. Mega with the damages takes out Flappy Bearfish for a double kill, and Nox flashing out of there. Scoop Chris retreats with the cocoon, and Complexity poised to take out Napkins in the sky.
Yep, 3rd inhibitor's gonna fall down. It's gonna be the Nexus turrets next for them. Fury of the Sands is activated. He's gonna just siphoning strike this one to the face, take it out. And now with 3 inhibs down, Napkins in the sky still trying to hold on to this one, but Mega Zero just laying into this turret. Inox is gonna get blown up with a lot of damage, gets with it to the face, so he can't really respond too well, but they're trying to defend this one. The inhibitor, the Nexus turret does fall. Inox does die. Scuba Chris is next right there. He will repel and try to get out as he does. And it is going to be GG well played coming in from Napkins in Disguise, as the Nexus will now fall, and Complexity going to go 7-0 in the NACL.
Complexity with an absolutely monumental end to the game, probably dropping belts on people and the rest of the lineup. A huge frontline initiates. Mega Zero, Lada Mortis just crushing the back line. Flappy Bearfish had the best game that he did, that he could have, and a nice performance from Inox as well.